What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna explain why there's no Rocky payload on screen in just a second, but before I can do that, I just want to have a quick disclaimer for anybody who's new here. Shout out to you, welcome to my channel if you just clicked on this video. Pause the video and read the description. This music might be a little bit too loud. Pause the video and read the description. There is a lot of super important information linked down below, and then once you're done with the video, you can click off and then go look at all my other videos, or more importantly, look at the links in the description. There are video links explaining more things about the hack if just the text explanation wasn't enough for you, although the text explanation is pretty thorough. But yeah, there's playlist link down below, my Discord server. Go join that if you're not already in there. You can get live updates on development and stuff. But I'm gonna just explain the Rocky payload thing right away, because I know there's gonna be a couple people whining in the comment. Where's my Rocky payload? Shut up! Shut up! Yo, look, I'm kidding, obviously. Rocky payload's bad, man. And in a ROM hack like this, where I try to optimize all the 3 ability slots, make them make sense with the Pokemon, make them worth using over one another, there is very little reason to use Rocky payload when pretty much all of your rock moves are already boosted by Technician or Skill Link to begin with. It's just, there's no point. The only purpose of Rocky payload would be for like funny Rock Wrecker and Strength, and I guess Rock Slide, but like I don't like in Stone. I don't know, man. Like I'd rather just have my Technician. Like Rock Blast Technician is like the same fucking power, damn near, you know, and it's spammable and it hits multiple times. And then Skill Link. So Rock Blast Technician with loaded dice is 150 base power, right? For the player, it's 100. You know, you hit 4 times guaranteed, so it's 150 base power. And then Skill Link obviously is 125 base power, but you can hold an item, so you can run Scarf or a defensive item or whatever you need to run, or some other item, right? That's already like soulful enough. That's already soulful enough. Not to mention, I gave them an exclusive signature move. For now, it's a signature, but there's probably going to be at least maybe 1 or 2 other rock Pokemon with this like that I think need it, but I haven't given it any so far. And honestly, it might end up being just signature. I'm not exactly sure yet. I'll have to see as time goes on if there is a rock type that I think, you know, I think actually there is one I have planned. There is one other, at least, yeah, and it's an actual rock type. But Bombirdier gets the Technician boost on Rock Drop, so it's a 135 base power flinch move, and unlike most of the other, in fact, pretty much all the other guaranteed, you know, flinch cheese moves, this is level 1, alright? So I don't want to hear any whining about this. Dude, this at level 1, it's such a fucking good tool. It's such a good tool, and I gave it level 1 purely so it's like a soulful thing, right? Because this whole thing, I get it, yes, this whole thing is dropping rocks. The abilities still make sense for that, for the record. Technician and Skill Link both had to do with them, you know, dropping or shooting whatever rocks at the opponent and other shit, you know, dropping things in general. Technician, Skill Link using their, I mean, not hands, but, you know, using like tactical, using tools in general with Technician. And then Skill Link, obviously, dropping rocks fits with that. And then Prankster, I mean, fits incredibly well. Like, literally in the game, you fight them as the Titan because they're just trolling everybody and dropping rocks and shit. And the Dex itself also describes it as, I believe, like doing it for fun or something, or like as a prank, or what does it say? Yeah, it enjoys, hold on, yeah, it drops those things from high places for fun. So Prankster fits very, very well as well. And then, of course, I try to balance all 3 abilities to be useful over one another. So Skill Link gives you that item flexibility with moves such as Stab, Fury Swipes, and Fury Pecks, which are Stab, 125 base power multi-hit moves, 100% accurate. They're all Bullet Seed variants, right? So all of these are 100% accurate. Rock Blast, Bullet Seed, super early on, super early on, which makes Skill Link incredible even early on because of Rock Blast and Bullet Seed before you even get access to loaded dice. However, there are a million other great Technician moves. Not only do you have Rock Drop for priority, which, I mean, again, Rock Drop is like Soul Blast, dude, Soul Blast. I don't want to hear any bitching about Rocky Pellet, I swear to God. If I got a comment saying, oh, I can understand why you'd remove it, but I'm still a little sad. Shut up! Delete your comment right now. It annoys me. This is like way cooler in my opinion. And then also, I didn't mention this yet, I probably should have. Rocky Pellet is repurposed. I renamed it to fit actual rock types. There's actually only 2, I believe, that are planning to have it right now. It's called Stonemason, okay? I have 2 Pokemon that are planning to have it, and it's obviously when you have actual Rock Stab, it becomes a 2.25 times boost, and it becomes incredibly powerful, even stronger than Adaptability. So stay tuned for those. You'll see those eventually. But that's another reason I changed the ability name, so it doesn't even make sense. I mean, I guess Bombirdier could have Stonemason. Nah, man. So it benefits more Pokemon to rename the ability, and then Bombirdier already has tons of rock moves with Technician and Skill Link, so they still get the same boost. Again, the only thing you're missing out on is Rock Wrecker, Strength, and Rock Slide. I think that's literally in Stone Edge and fucking Smackdown, I guess, but yeah, none of that shit matters, dude. Especially when you have Technician and Skill Link Rock Blast, Technician Rock Crop, Early on, you even have tech, rock tomb and stuff for that kind of stuff. But yeah, sick, super sick, man. I love Bombirdier. I think it's really cool. So that's why I would get annoyed if people complain, because it's like, dude, it's not like I like this Pokemon. You know, I'm giving it a lot of attention and thought and care. Speaking of the stats, I like making stats have like satisfying numbers. So they already had 85 defenses, so I said why not give them 87, so that way everything ends in 7. So you got 87, 87, 87, 107, 107. So I think that's pretty sick. BST pretty standard for this hack, especially for plenty of single stages or non-evolving mons have that. Special attack I dropped. I mean, I could have just kept it at 535, but I like the vibes better as 525, so I just dropped it by 10 just for my own arbitrary limits that I like to place on myself for Pokemon. But yeah, so back on topic of the multi-hit moves. I mean, you can literally see it on screen. It's all like coded, right? All of the bolded moves are technician boosted, and then all the skill link moves are bolded because they're also technician boosted, and then underlined. So anything. So basically, you have stab, fury pecks, fury swipes, and then you have much earlier on, you have rock blast and bullet seed at the beginning of the game, and then you have pummel and wall up. So you have, I guess you earn them in stages of 2, right? You have 2 coverage, rock and grass for skill link. Then you have fighting and fairy, and then you have your stab, which is incredibly powerful. And also at level 50, you still have 21 boss fights left. I have memorized now. You have 21 boss fights left at level 50 out of the 46 boss fights in the main story in the entire game. So you still have, those moves. They might seem like they're late, but they're legal for almost half the game still. So yeah. Dual Wing Beat is even later because Technician. So yeah, I'm gonna cover Technician shit now. Again, you can look at it all on screen, but it's still worth it. Actually, let me explain the Prankster shit because that might not be immediately obvious to why you would ever use it. So not only basically in this ROM hack, Pokemon are meant to be versatile. It's all balanced on Teamlocked. Read it in the description if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, you're supposed to use the most of your Pokemon's tools, which I give them many tools now, in the form of abilities and EVs and items, and of course the moves are a huge part of the game work. So yeah, 87, Jesus Christ. Say people have a habit of like looking at the colors of the stats because I assign them colors based by tens, right? Stages of 10. But then people see like 89 and they think it's mid, but it's like, dude, it's basically 90. And then once you hear 90, it's like, oh, it's green, it's good. So I just want people to imagine these stats were 90, 110, 90, 90, 110. All right. Imagine they had 90 bulk across the board and 110. Then it's like, oh, wow, this thing's fucking goated, super tanky. So yes, 87 is very tanky, especially with EVs, because again, with Prankster, you can switch to max HP, max defense EVs or max HP, max speed F EVs, and you can run things like Parting Shot and Battle Cry, which are debuffing moves. Obviously, what Parting Shot does, but Battle Cry is essentially -2 to both attacking stats, and it has 2 PP, so that's great. Also, earlier on in the game, before you get access to Battle Cry at 37, you'll have Feather Dance, which is obviously just for physical attack. You could even run both, for certain boss fights if you need multiple PP, because the PP is limited on those moves. But yeah, the main use of Prankster is those things: Parting Shot, Battle Cry, even stuff like Torment and Tailwind and stuff like. For example, Prankster Eject Button Tailwind is super nice because you can bait an attacking move, and with your good bulk, you can probably take it, and then you can get that free pivot with the Eject Button into an ally, and still have 3 turns of Tailwind to abuse. So that's pretty cool. Or just Tailwind at the Parting Shot, but then you only get 2 turns, which is enough. You could use that to get 2 kills, for example, if you have the right moves and the right item on your other Pokemon. But yeah, Parting Shot, Taunt is great. Prankster Taunt versus leads especially is really useful because a lot of the leads have Taunt and other anti-setup moves like Status or whatever. So being able to taunt those is super useful. Again, with Move Your Linner, your Pokemon are super flexible, so you can run a purely support-oriented Bombirdier for one boss fight, and then because of the certain matchup or plan that you have, and then the next one you can take advantage of the offensive Technician and Skill Link options. So yeah, super sick. As for Technician, of course, Rock Drop. I mean, again, the fact that you have that guaranteed flinch move is such a useful tool. It breaks sashes for free. Of course, that's not that crazy when you have tons of other things that break sashes, but it's mostly just the fact that it's free damage, right? It's free damage. It's strong. It's 135 power. I mean, I really, it's a very unique tool. All of these flinch type moves are exclusive. There's a list of them in the move sheet. Of course, I would recommend, if you are going to check out the move sheet after this video, to look at all the actual main move categories, because that's way more important than the signatures, because there are more Pokemon. But yeah, Rock Drop, super great tool. Pluck, Technician boosted for earlier on. It's 90 base power. Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is great. Aerial Ace is a priority move. I should have said that earlier in the video. It took me 10 fucking minutes. Yeah, Aerial Ace is flying type quick attack, right? So that is Technician boosted, very, very nice. Thief, Rock Tomb, Pluck are all 90 base power. Technically shit like Icy Wind, but like obviously it's very niche. I mean, for some niche uses you could unironically run it, because again with the movie Learner and Teamlocked, there are tons of unique strategies you can cook up, and item claws as well. So all these unique strategies and rules, I guess, will cause players to take advantage of all the tools I give to these Pokemon. But yeah, I think I covered all the prankster stuff for the most part. I considered saying because it is a bird, but it feels kind of weird, so I opted not to. Oh, Encore! How the fuck did I miss Encore? Yeah, Prankster Encore, great versus AI. Of course, keep in mind if you use it, if you Prankster Encore them into a ground move, they're gonna hard switch, which is still good because you could use that for a free turn to maybe parting shot out or whatever. Although I'm pretty sure the hard switch AI is pretty inconsistent. It's not like switching AI, so honestly, I feel like it's almost random. It's hard to tell. I wouldn't recommend encouraging hard switching on AI. It can really mess up your routing and planning. But yeah, Encore into a resisted move is the best use of it. So, meanwhile, if you Encore into a ground or psychic move, again, the AI will hard switch. But you could use that to maybe set up or something. So it's an option for sure. Yeah, so you've got tons of high base power moves because earlier on, because of again the fact that you have Technician and Skill Link, mean that your actual like weaker base power moves become much stronger. So stuff like Rock Wrecker, which is 140 base power, physical rock type Draco Meteor, is level 35. So that's another really cool, like, to make up for the loss of Rocky Payload. I gave them, a 140 base power rock move at level 35, which is super early for a move that strong. So that's really soulful and cool. Stone Edge TM is 100% accurate. 80 base power always crits. Can't be used twice in a row. Strength is rock type double edge. So you've got high base power rock moves early on, and then of course Rock Blast. I mean, from literally like basically the beginning of the game. By the time you hatch the egg for Bombardier, it'll. Oh, I just forgot to put part 2. That's why I got confused. I was wondering why I have part 1 listed twice. It's because there's split up in the parts here because of the spacing, just to make room for the format. Okay, so, and I gotta italicize that too. But yeah, I mean, that's really it, honestly. Yeah, Wing Beat is 135 base power with Technician and reliable, 2-hit, 100% accurate, so that's very strong, which is why it's level 60. Although, again, that's still legal for 7 plus 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I've been counting this as 2 each. I don't know why I did that. Alright, 3, 10, 11. 11 boss fights you have dual Wing Beat for out of the 46, so that's still like a third of the game almost. So, still a lot of fights you have Wing Beat. Yeah, that's really it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, thank you for listening. I guess I could push it to 65 if I wanted to, honestly. I probably should, but it's fine. There's tons of guys who get moves like that. Yeah, again, loaded dice Technician with all the multi-hit moves is stronger than Skill Link. However, it's 150 as opposed to 125. So it is pretty significantly stronger. That's not even factoring in stab and all that, and super effective and all that other multipliers. However, it takes up your item slots, so I would only use it if you're faster than the opponent, or if you can take the hit, or whatever it is, if you're using a choice scarf on somebody else, or whatever it is. But the point is, Skill Link gives you more flexibility to items, Technician gives you more flexibility with moves and different move options. Speaking of Technician, the last little things that are worth mentioning, Beat Up is very strong. So average base power beat up is going to be roughly 85. Of course, if your team has a super high base attack stat overall, you're going to get like 100, you can get like 100, 105, 110 base power beat up, and that's before Technician, okay? And in a Teamlocked Nuzlocke where your Pokemon, I mean, you're planning the fight as if nothing is fainting, right? Beat up should always be max power. Meanwhile, in competitive, when you're trading Pokemon constantly, and it's just a completely different dynamic, beat up is a lot less good in like singles, for example, because you have to keep your guys alive, and it's a lot harder to do that in competitive 6v6 singles, but in game, it's easy to keep your guys alive, of course, with planning. So yeah, Beat Up, very strong move. That's why it's later than Fury Swipes. I could probably push these to like 60 and 65 if I'm being super real with y'all. I might do that right now. Also, I have to do, that's something I always make a list. Beat Up, Wing Beat, Energy, Evo, Palafin. Okay, so just wanted to, so I don't forget to write those down later. I think I've covered pretty much everything anyway, so thank you for listening if you made it to the end of the video. Other Technician stuff, Smart Strike. That's Smart Strike. Oh my god, I actually missed the really important Technician shit. So early on, you've got incredibly powerful Technician moves in Lash Out, Knockoff, and Smart Strike. So Lash Out and Smart Strike are 50 base power moves that always crit. So with Technician, those go up to 112.5 base power, right? Very strong. Technician Knockoff is now 55 base power, however, that it's Technician boosted, right? So you get 55 times 1.5 times another 1.5 from the item getting knocked off. So 124 base power with Knockoff Technician. Very strong. And yeah, Smart Strike, I gave it to them because they got the little pointy beak. I can see them like jabbing with it or slashing with it, whatever. Which I did change the flavor text for Smart Strike to just be a generic like slashing, poking, jabbing type of move, or like a tactical hit. It also gives you +1 accuracy, but I think there's literally not a single inaccurate move on this thing's learn set, besides Gunk Shot and Hurricane, which doesn't matter. Yeah, that's it. Excuse me, every other move is 100% accurate. Oh, and Dive Bomb. So I guess you could use like Smart Strike to Dive Bomb for some, I mean, niche situation, but yeah. Also, lastly, first impression, Technician boosted 135 base. It's the same as Rock Drop in the sense that it's a 60 base power crit move, so it goes to 135 with Technician. And then you've got Heat Wave, which is the same thing, 135 base power with Technician. So despite only having 50 attack, you know, with Move Your Learner, there might be some situation where you want to hit something for super effective fire damage, and with that Technician multiplier, it can actually be pretty damn strong, despite having a low special attack stat. So yeah, thank you for listening. Shout out to you if you made it to the end. Leave a comment down below what you think. I appreciate you listening all the way to the end, and I'll be back for more. Peace.